It's here at the Miami Herald where Jim Morin has drawn his political cartoons 5 days a week for over 30 years. He's a two-time Pulitzer Prize winner whose love for cartoons began at age 7. It was then that he would try to trace the characters he saw in comic and coloring books.
There are some cartoons that are done for a laugh. Occasionally I'll do that as kind of letting off the steam. I tend to let the humor kind of rest. My job is to make a statement and express my point of view through a cartoon.
Miami Herald editor Joe Oglesby has worked with Jim Morin for many years. He sees Jim first as a journalist and then as a cartoonist.
Jim comes into my office every day about noon, and then he goes away in his office and he comes up with ideas for cartoons. And he will come in and he'll have 3 or 4 sketches, not the actual cartoon. And we discuss each one of them and decide which one might be best to put in the paper for the next day.
Much better than it was on the sketch. I mean, this is pretty cool.
People think that I change minds. I don't think I change minds, and it's not my job to change minds. My job is to really inspire debate. I mean, you can disagree with something I do, or you can agree with something I do. And if it inspires you to start talking about it or to start caring about it, then I've done my job.
Jim Morin's cartoon is the best read item on our pages, period, bar none. People read that cartoon before they will read a letter, before they will read an editorial, before they will read a column.
When Jim's day job at the Herald is done, he heads home to pursue his other creative passion, oil painting. His paintings have been exhibited in galleries and museums, including the Coral Springs Museum of Art and the Virginia Miller Galleries in Coral Gables.
The cartooning is about other people, and really very little of your emotions go into it. It's about, you know, it's about what's going on. It's about government. It's about governing, and it's about you know what's going on with specific people and society. Whereas painting is about humanity, and it's about loneliness and longing and nature, etc., etc. And it's just it's a whole different world.
He's always been like a realist. You know, he likes to paint things that he sees. You know, he's very observant of reality around him. You know, his wife, you know, the landscape in Miami, the expressways, those are great. You know, the trees. That's something that surrounds him. That's his world.
One of the people that really got me interested in painting, and that was Daumier. Daumier was a great political cartoonist, of course, from the 1800s, but he was also a great painter. And he didn't sell many paintings, but he was absolutely cherished as a painter by his fellow artists. Van Gogh loved him. He was an artist is what he was, basically. And but he dealt with the same subject matter in his paintings as he dealt with in his cartoons. For example, I mean, he would draw cartoons sticking up for the average person, and his paintings were paintings of the average person. If you look at them closely, they really say the same things, but in a different way. And the paintings were more universal. And I don't know why it didn't occur to me earlier, but I realized that is what I should be doing.
Art critic Helen Cohen, who worked at the Miami Herald for many years, has long admired Jim Morin's work.
I think in a way you're seeing very classical art in terms of his ability to manage paint and space and figure, ground, relationships. These are all the formal things about art. He's definitely that kind of an artist. I've never seen any what I would call contemporary art from him.
I was watching my kids one day. They're watching a cartoon, and they were just like, they were just staring at this screen, and it was almost ghost-like. So I set about doing a series of portraits of people watching television, and those paintings to me say, especially when you see them all together, those paintings say more about that particular subject than any cartoon that I could ever draw. They say a cartoon is worth 1,000 words, and for me a painting is worth 1,000 cartoons.
We discovered that there's even more talent to Jim Morin than meets the eye. This masterful cartoonist, journalist, and painter is a skilled guitarist, and in that too, he shines.
For more information about Jim Morin, visit jimmorinpaintings.com.